Hey guys, welcome back to Just Do You. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube blog today, and our topic today is going to be untold stories. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I am just a teacher, a lifelong learner, and a real estate broker in North Carolina. If you want to buy or sell, PM me. Untold stories, might as well call them secrets, right? They're like a bunch of bad things hidden somewhere in the dark where nobody can visit and reveal them. But the truth is, you never know how much you really believe in anything until its truth or its falsehood becomes a matter of life and death to you. Why did I choose this topic? Because y'all, untold stories are often found tangled up in the roots of our values. And now, in the last few episodes, we've been redefining your values. And those untold stories have disturbed your roots. And you have to understand what to do with those stories. So, this quote, to me, kind of makes me think that some of those untold stories have you questioning what you believe in. That's what I got from this quote from C.S. Lewis. And I thought, well, how many of us right now are questioning what we believe in some matter of perspective, right? From sharing secrets to hiding truths, y'all, we all grew up. Elementary, middle school, high school, college, and thereafter. Woo! Did the stories get bigger and better just like we did, or what? Some of those stories you're going to sit around a campfire with your closest friend for decades and tell them over and over. Just a few of you that you know and trust. And you do it because it feels good to be able to laugh about them now. Even though they were terrifying when they actually happened. But there are some secrets, y'all, that do not permit themselves to be told. Maybe it's your choice not to tell. Maybe it's not your choice not to tell. Maybe you've been told to keep your mouth shut. There are untold stories for lots of reasons, right? Well, untold stories feel like lies. And we've already called them secrets, right? Hidden truths. You might as well call them lies. Your body feels lies. You feel shame. You feel fear. You feel anxiety. Your body feels lies. So those untold stories that don't allow themselves to be told, even though they're not physically there, they're always there. And the most dangerous lies are the ones you tell yourself, right? If you have to hide what you're doing from somebody, from anybody, no, I won't say from anybody. I understand there are things you hide from certain people. You got to. But we're talking about those real, not telling this one stories. If what you're doing is making you hide it from someone, then you already know in your heart what you're doing is wrong. So when you're feeling that it's wrong, that's shame, right? And that feels like a lie. The most confused that we ever get is when we try to convince our heads of something that our hearts know is a lie. Our minds get so confused over time that sometimes even we can't remember what we can't forget. A lie will never be forgotten until its truth is told. I think we can all relate to this one. The untold stories of my life are camouflaged with white lies, fake smiles, and poor jokes. Yep, Zinnia, we've all been there. Well, just like a lie will never be forgotten until its truth is told, love, I'm talking love for self love for anything, because self comes first. Love cannot make a home where lies and secrets sleep. Love is the absence of judgment. Love is the absence of judgment. And love cannot make a home where lies and secrets sleep. Are you hearing that? The people who love you are aware of your untold stories. And it's not because you've told them. Well, a lot of times it is. But the untold stories, they know they're there because of how you carry them. Love is the absence of judgment. And what are you doing when you keep those stories? You're letting people judge you for the things that they don't even know. Do you hear that? The past cannot be changed. Never. You cannot undo it. But the future is yet in your power. Right now it is. You have all these stories stuffed in your mental backpack that you lug around with you every day. And it's not the weight of that load that reminds you that it's there. Even though your body does feel it, it's not the weight that reminds you that it's there. It's the awkwardness of trying to carry that backpack, trying to carry that load out of sight. You need to change the way you carry that load. You need to take it out of that backpack and put it in your pocket. You need to try to make that load real. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Don't you dare look for society to give you permission to be yourself. If you have an opportunity to tell those stories, you need to tell them. Now I'm going to give you a couple of ways to get you through the day sometimes. I know this is silly, but trust me. Get you a coin, get you a paperclip, wherever you are, pick something up, let it represent that thought, that story that won't come out of your head for the day. Just making you in a bad mood. Put it in your pocket. Make yourself a fidget. I gave my son fidgets when he was in elementary school. His teachers hated it, but I'm telling you, it really, really helped him focus. But this also, a fidget can serve as a physical reminder. And it also is really good for anxiety. But you take that coin, you take that paperclip, you make it your problem, and you keep it in your pocket. And you think to yourself, if someone else is in the room with you, is this somebody that I can share this with? Is this a story I can tell to this person? Would it change anything? If you can tell to that person, tell them right then. But if you can't, just let it go. Drop it. Back into your pocket. Put the fidget back in your pocket. Let it stay there. And if you have to, you can put your hand back in there and you can fidget with it. One of the best ways to let your stories go is to tell your stories. And that's a way you can physically do it. Now, write them in a quote in your notebook, in your journal that you've been keeping. Another idea is talk to one of your core people. Talk to a doctor, talk to a therapist. If you have good insurance and you have that sort of service, go do it. You got to get those stories out in some way. But that physical reminder at least gives you something tangible, and some of that energy that is created from those thoughts can go into that object. If you were one of my kids recently, you know what I'm talking about when I say go get you a fidget. Just don't get in trouble with it. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. It's your untold story that will change the lives of others too, though. Now, sometimes you tell that story and it changes things for the better. It's not what we say out loud that really determines our lives. It is important to tell people, and it feels so good to tell people your stories. But it's really what we whisper to ourselves that has the most power. So this is the second way that I'm going to explain to you that you can give those problems up. Of course I talk to myself. Sometimes I need expert advice. Y'all, self-talk is important, and it's healthy. It's prayer. When you think of it that way, it changes what comes out of your mouth later. So say it. Say it all, every foul word of it. Say what you want to say out loud. Say it to yourself. Maybe not to the people that you want to say it to, but just say it out loud if you have to. Talking to yourself is very much like talking to God. You'll only get answers from within. But you gotta be mindful of your self-talk. It's a conversation with the universe. Once you make it real, it's real. Once you start talking out loud and you start asking out loud, what can I do about this? Is there anything I can do about this? If the answer is anything other than nothing, then start talking about how to do it. That's pretty easy, right? But if the answer is nothing, if there's nothing you can do about it, then you have to start asking how to accept it. The definition of prayer: a solemn request for help or expression of thanks. I want you to rethink the word prayer. I want you to think of it as a vocabulary word, okay? And I want you to listen to that definition. Solemn request for help or expression of thanks. You have to tell your story to somebody, but mostly to yourself. You got to be always honest and true to yourself. You pray all day. Talk to yourself all day. Prayer is the most important conversation of the day. Prayer is a conversation, so it really helps to speak it, make it real. Self-talk is healthy. There is no greater power on this earth than story. And the people who are crazy enough to think they can change this world are the ones who do it. And you know how they do it? They do it by just being themselves. Keep it real, y'all. Just do you. I love you. If you want to support me, read here. Stay safe. Here are resources for you. More resources.